Hello. Hi. Hi. You all right, Susie? Everything all right?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Liam.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk About Networking. This is where we get together for half an hour on a week just to talk to a business person who's been involved in networking for some time, ask them about their journey, ask them about how they got into networking, and a little bit about the future, and just give a little bit of advertising, a bit of exposure for their business and the wonderful things that we think we're doing in the local area with networking. Today, I am joined by Susie, who is, I've heard, a tremendous interior designer. Susie, good afternoon. I suppose my first question is, tell us about yourself. Tell us kind of what you do.
Well, as you said, Liam, I'm an interior designer. My company name is Utopia Mix Interiors, and I'm based in Saddleworth. But obviously, I travel to other areas. My journey started with B&I probably about the same time as I actually started my business, Utopia Mix Interiors. And they almost sort of went hand in hand together, really. A friend of mine invited me along to the meeting. Never networked before. It wasn't something I was interested in, but I just thought I'd, come along and see. And it just really went from there. It took a little bit of getting used to when I first joined, because as I said, it wasn't something that I naturally would have gone into. But I have to say, it's as my business grew, B&I really has guided me and shaped the business of what it is today.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about. So, about your business itself, what's kind of a perfect project for you? What do you enjoy about it? So maybe we start with that.
I would say a perfect project for me is being at the start of things. Obviously, the bigger the project, the better. Extensions or major refurbishments are good for me because then you almost have a little bit of a blank canvas to work with. The customer needs to have a budget in mind to make it work. But having me at the start really helps things because sometimes people haven't thought of certain things. I know builders have their input, the architects have their input, but having somebody sort of really concentrate on the small details about living and how you want your home to look needs to be thought through at the start. So sometimes when I've come in halfway through or towards the end, it can sort of be a shame really because people spent money on certain areas and it hasn't worked out. So get me in at the start of projects.
I was actually going to ask. Yeah, very nice. I was thinking about that. Where do you want to be? Are kind of good introductions for you, the builders and the architects that you mentioned, or are they homeowners who haven't got a clue? They just bought something, and what's it? Where is it really? Builders and architects, which are great introductions to you.
I mean, in some ways, I'm lucky because most people have a home, so. Really, I know B&I likes to be a little bit more specific on that, but I suppose really builders, because often builders don't have the time to spend with their customers talking about smaller details. So if they link in with me, I can work with them. So people that are property developers that are taking on buildings that obviously I can share the load in terms of putting things together for them. Architects do a lot of their own work in terms of design, but once again, it's about the smaller details. So it's a good sort of harmony to work with these people, to make things happen. And I think most people don't really ever think about employing an interior designer. So it's something that is quite new to people, and they don't really know what to expect. And the way I like to work is that I really get involved with people. I spend time with them, getting to know what they want. I'm very hands-on. And I like to think that I evolve with the customer and their project. So everything's not set in stone at the start. We have ideas, but things will evolve as we go. And I like to see the project all the way through and work with the customers.
Love that. Well, we're getting some great comments already. Lorraine saying, great to see the best interior designer around being interviewed. Hello, Lorraine. Good afternoon. David, she's the best. That's awesome. Amanda there, Susie's fab. Gosh, who else is saying? Colin, only hear great things about Susie. Looking forward to hearing about your journey. And we're Graham as well. Hi, Graham, a great designer. I suppose the question is, why do you do it then? What's driving you? Why are you not? You can be creative. There's lots of other ways to be creative, lots of other ways to help people. But why do you do it?
It's a difficult one to explain, really, because it is like a deep-rooted sort of urge, I suppose, to create, really. And I just love anything to do with the home. I'm very interested in the nuts and bolts of what makes a house. It's not just about putting cushions on a sofa. It's about from getting involved at the start, really, and how things will work together. I love colour. Colour is a big passion of mine, and I think sometimes people don't always understand colour and how it works within the home, and often there can be some mistakes that people make because they don't realise, different lights, different parts of the house look different. So that's a big passion of mine, but also layouts within homes. Often people can't figure out why things haven't worked for them. And it's maybe just to do with perhaps reconfiguring the house or the rooms to make things work.
Has that always been then a passion of you? Did you kind of come out of school and college thinking, this is where I want to be? How did you get from kind of finishing school, college, university, wherever you were, to where you are now? What's the history?
I did something completely different. I went into sales when but then I bought a retail business which focused heavily on interiors, furnishings, soft furnishings, kitchen items. And just 3 years ago, well, no, 4 years ago, just decided to have a complete career change because it's just something I've always been interested in doing. I've renovated houses myself, helped other people put together their houses. So I sold my business in 2018 and started Utopia Mix Interiors. Joined B&I, which,
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that leads us on really nicely, and that's what links the two of us. So let's go back. You 4 years ago or so, you're starting out in this new venture of yours, and somewhere someone has said you probably need to have a look at networking and building more relationships. So take us back right to that very start, and what did that journey look like to get into your first meeting almost?
Well, as I said, I was actually invited by Amanda Reed. She's the solicitor in our group. Came along. I was absolutely terrified the first time I came. Probably the second time as well, really. But for me, what changed things for me was really when I did my first 10 minutes where we stand up and present our business to the team. And after that, Gareth Edwards, the finance guy in our team, came up to me and said, we've had a house renovated, but it doesn't feel quite right. Can you come and just give us some advice? So I went to see Gareth, and eventually over the next year or so ended up redoing most of his house. And then I was referred to his grandparents. They went on holiday for the week and I renovated their house, and then also helped renovate his uncle's house. So that was a big start for me, bigger project, which then you've got more to present to everybody in the team, more photographs, and it just snowballed. Had another great referral from the accountant in our group, Stephen Howard. One of his customers, a gentleman, lived on his own, didn't have a clue what to do with his house, got me involved, so renovated the whole of his house. I then went on to renovate his parents' house, and I'm just currently working in Barnsley, renovating his cousin's house.
Wow.
I've done lots of work within the group as well, because I think people within the group like to try before they buy, I suppose, really, and get some confidence a little bit then to recommend you. So I just can't speak more highly about it, really. It's just been such a stepping stone for me. It's been fantastic. And then just to sort of move on from there, the other things that have come out of it is that we've got a great photographer, David Howcroft, and he's taken some photographs of some of my work. And when they were posted on social media, I got fantastic feedback. John Lewis commented, because obviously I'd use some of the furnishing things, pots, which is a lovely interior. retail outlets. So it really just goes hand in hand with the group.
Love that. So let's talk about the group then. Genesis is your chapter, as we call it. Let's highlight some of the good stuff, some of the positives from Genesis. You talked about Gareth helping and people taking photographs. Talk to me about your chapter. What despite aside from the business that you have been past over the past few years, what are the other elements to the chapter actually that that are maybe unseen and unheard, but you're very thankful for?
Well, I think the first time I went, and it's probably one of the main reasons I did actually join, was the humour in the group. It was a really good group, really good fun. So I think that makes it easier. And I think if anybody is thinking about joining a network group like BNI, I'd really say get involved with it, because the more you get involved, the more you feel part of it. And the more you feel part of it, the more you feel confident in the group. If you'd have said to me 3 years ago when I joined that I would actually be secretary treasurer, I would have said not a chance. And here I am. So it's brilliant to boost confidence. It makes you look at your own business every week, how you can push it forward. Don't stand still. Just using lots of people in the room. I mean, Tony Busworth designed my logo. I've met some great friends. Lorraine Robinson, I'd almost say she's like a business coach to me as well. I could go on and on really talking about Genesis and fantastic people in it. And you become like a big business family that look after each other. Because at the end of the day, we're there for business, and it's about growing our businesses and being successful. So the more you put in, the more you get out, that's for sure.
I love that. Let's look back then, 13 months ago, 14 months ago. And of course, the proverbial hit the fan in March. What your initial thoughts like that? Of course, your businesses very much get out there, see spaces, handle furniture, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, very much.
What's your thought process last March when you're thinking, this is going to have quite an effect on my business here?
Sometimes in dire situations, I think sometimes it just brings out the best in people. And it was interesting. There was a little posse within BNI that seemed to rally together a bit. So the obvious thing for us was social media. So we all just got behind it really. And there was me doing videos on painting lampshades and recycling and upcycling, and we all just shared things, and we all did different things to try and in the media really, because that seemed the most obvious thing to do. Then we moved on to Zoom meetings, and we soon got behind that, and that worked really well. And I think it's just that positivity really. There's no point in thinking, well, you just got to always look and recreate what you do or reinvent yourself into a different area. And that was mine. I did a lot of upcycling and showing people what they could do at home with bits and pieces they found in their garage.
I love.
So yeah, that was it. So, but then that was good, because then I got more people starting to notice me a little bit more, because I was putting more effort into social media. And then I found that I could actually do some Zoom consultations as well. And I've done quite a few of those where I ask people to send me some photographs beforehand. And then, we go onto Zoom, and I can, still give people advice about different things within the room. So that was successful as well.
Great. Well, we're having some comments coming in. I don't know who this Facebook user is, but love to work with you when she requires any bespoke beds. So if you are who you are, put your name in below so we know who you are. David saying thanks for the shout out. A lot of comments. Colin, lucky enough to be invited as a guest. Everyone makes you feel so welcome, which I know is true for Genesis. Lorraine saying we're a group, just inspire each other. Absolutely right. Tony, it was a pleasure. Really,
Tony designed my logo.
Oh, well done, Tony. Brilliant work. Responsible for all the success there, and brilliant interview. Shows the quality in BNI, and you're absolutely right. Okay, so of course, while at the same time as your business was transitioning to a virtual offering, of course, so was your networking, your source of of, or partly source of where your business comes from. So talk to me about what you were thinking about going virtually. You obviously seem to embody the core value of positive attitude, which is great. But did you not question actually what was going to happen and whether we were going to continue networking?
No, I didn't really. For me, I was too busy thinking about what I was going to upcycle next, really. No, I just was positive. I'm very lucky also where I live because there's beautiful countryside. So I was a lucky person, really. So I could do things online. I had my network working group behind me. I could go out for a nice walk in the countryside. So I was lucky. But I just knew that it would come right in the end, really. So I knew that we'd continue doing the Zoom meetings for however long we had to do it. And even though we have been on Zoom, our businesses have still kept going. We've still been creating revenue for each other. And really, you just got to go on that journey, haven't you? And if we never went back to meetings again, or the pandemic carried on for the next, I don't know how long, then you have to adapt. You have to do it, because if you're passionate about what you do, then you'll find a way to do it and just evolve, really.
Is networking as simple as you said a few minutes ago, giving and then you receive, or is there other elements to it? Being specific, training the members in the room. What's the secret behind it? Is there a one thing that makes it so successful for you?
I think it's everything, really. And at the start of lockdown, one of the things I really did concentrate on was the BNI podcasts. I spent hours listening to them. They'd be on in the background. And, some of it you just think, it's not relevant to me. But then there'll be just that little nugget of positivity that I really enjoyed. And it just gets you thinking about things. So they were fantastic. And I do think just really putting the time into constantly going to events for training, it does keep you always thinking about what you're doing, where you're going, and it's all part of BNI. It's part of your membership, so why not take advantage of it? It's there to be had. So
love that. So what does the future look like then? Who are you? You're really looking to speak to in the future. Now we've got a huge platform. There's plenty of people watching across a lot of platforms. Who are you looking to speak to? What does it look like in the next 12 months?
Well, for me, doing what I do, it's all about recognition, and it's all about the work that you produce, because that's all you've got to show people, and people's experiences working with me. That's what I have really to take me forward. So it's always looking at yourself and thinking, how can I change things? How can I improve? Keeping up to date with trends and different things. So for me, bigger and better jobs, really. People with bigger budgets, people that want to give me more of a free rein to what I can do. That's for me, really. Always think big. Having said that, people that have houses that want things done. So I think really I'd like to appeal to a lot of people rather than be too focused, really.
I love that. Brilliant. Well, we've got Darren's commented, Susie was a great help when I was restyling my living room. Thank you very much, Darren. It was Mike Cliff. Mike saying
from the bed. Yeah. One.
Great work, Mike. Is that Blackburn Rovers emblem in your Facebook there? Also, Tony Butterworth here, and Graham, well said, Susie. So, talking about Genesis, of course, you want to surround yourself with people who are already talking to your customers, the target market. So, who or what categories, what seats currently are not filled in your group that you would actually like in there? Here's the chance to go, if you are an X, we've got business waiting for you. What are them categories?
We would love a plasterer.
Right.
We need a plumber, which are all trades that really can work closely with me. Flooring and carpets. I'm just trying to think. I'm being greedy here and thinking about myself.
Go for it. Be greedy.
An architect. We have a builder already, so that's that
Yeah.
area filled. People maybe that specialise in kitchens.
Great.
That could be another good one.
Yeah.
We're currently hoping that we've had a fantastic visitor recently, Leanne, that we're hoping is going to join us. Marketing. We have a vacancy for a marketing position, so hopefully Leanne will join us. I don't know. We're just waiting to see.
Great, good. So we've got a plasterer, kitchen fitter, we've got flooring, we've got an architect that we need.
Plumbing.
Yeah, plumbing. So if you are one of these, you watching this on Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever, YouTube, wherever you are, and you think, actually, I need some more work. Don't we all need more work? Don't we all need more work of the right quality? Get in touch. Put your name down below. Someone will be in touch. Susie, brilliant. It's a pleasure. I mean, I'm so glad that you're so positive about things. I suppose the last thing I would ask your advice on, there will be people watching this stream and they may be thinking, I'd quite like a piece of that. I'd quite like to expand my business, but I'm not sure about networking. I've maybe previously tried it. It's not worked out, or I've never heard of it, or I've heard of it and I don't think it's for me. What's your advice?
Just basically come along, really, make contact, because you can just come along to the meetings. At the moment, it's great. Zoom, you can just log on. We'll send you the link. You log on, you can experience the meeting. You can come a couple of times before you make a decision. You also get the opportunity to talk about your business as well for the 45 seconds, like the rest of us in the group. So even if you came along for those couple of meetings and didn't join, you've got fantastic exposure of your business to however many people in the room on that day. You can come along, so times that by 2. What's to lose, really?
What's to lose, yeah. Love that. And last question: how can people who are watching this get in touch with you if they think, actually, I need somebody just like you?
Facebook page, utopiamixinteriors.com is my website. Facebook, and also I've got my personal account, Susie Bambridge, as well. So I'm also on LinkedIn. I tried to Twitter, but I haven't quite got to grips with that yet.
Fair. Who of us have? Thank you, Susie. Thank you so much. I mean, 23 minutes, absolute pleasure, and I wish you all the best in Genesis and for the rest of the year. So, thank you very much for spending some time with us.
Brilliant. Thanks, Liam. It's been great.
Brill. If you are watching this and you're thinking, you know what, I want a bit of that. I want a bit of networking. I want to expand my business. I want to do it by referral, have a team around me. Or, you know what, I just want to give some exposure to my business. Scan the QR code that's at the top of the screen, somewhere up there, and someone will be in touch. You can put your details in there, or just comment below saying, I'll have a bit of that, and someone will be in touch. Have great. Well, I was wondering whether it was afternoon or morning then. Have a great rest of the afternoon. And we'll see you all same time next Thursday. Have a good